Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this.
Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we gotta talk about the Democrats, man. It seems like the Democrats have problems with men. I mean, oh my God, Democrats have ran off men so badly that the only men that are left are what? Low testosterone men, beta boys, incels, and men who identify as women. But we're going to talk about that and so much more. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations, guys. I am on Ko-fi. If you guys want to support, sponsor, donate, and tip to Nikki's World. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe. Please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links I got to go through. First off is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut based social media platform. They are an awesome alternative to Facebook. So if you guys value your right to the First Amendment and you guys want to speak freely without fear of censorship, being blocked, deplatformed, or suspended from any other social media platform, guys, you guys can join me at minds.com. Also, guys, I do have an awesome link with Byrna. If you value your right to the Second Amendment and you guys want to defend yourself in a less lethal manner, guys, you guys can head on over to Byrna.com. They have your top of the line Byrna SD, Byrna LE, TCR, Mission 4, and their newest compact launcher, guys. So if you guys value your right to the Second Amendment and you guys want to defend yourself in a less lethal manner, guys, head on over to my friends at Byrna, where they will make sure you guys are well armed and well prepared to defend yourself. Also, guys, I do have an awesome link and a connection with North Shore Medical Supply, guys. If you know somebody out there who needs to wear adult diapers, who wears adult diapers like I do, guys, Send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply, guys. They have their top of the line Mega Max diapers, their Supreme pull ups, their Eterna boosters, guys. So if you know someone out there who needs to be put in adult diapers, who needs to wear adult diapers like I do, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply, and they'll make sure that they are padded up and diapered up like always. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Hey, wow. Whew, that was a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen. And that was a mouthful. And yes, guys, I am always diapered up in my North Shore Mega Max diapers, in my onesies from Little Comforts as well. So I'm diapered up as always, padded up. So let's get on with the show, shall we? So today I want to talk about these articles that came on my social media feed yesterday. I mean, holy cow. I got like basically five stories that have one central theme in all this. And what is it, ladies and gentlemen? Democrats in the United States of America have a male problem. They have a male problem because Democrats have been running men out of their party. Okay? Democrats have a male problem so badly, ladies and gentlemen, that they're willing to sink $20 million to find out why men aren't joining the Democrat Party and how to connect to men. The fact of the matter is, man, guys, the Democrat Party has been running men out the door faster than they can replenish them. The Democrats are so desperate to try to regain more men in their party that they're willing to sink $20 million to try to figure out why men don't want to join the Democrat Party. I'll read you this one article from the Washington Free Beacon, exclusive. Inside the Democrat Party's strategic efforts to enhance its receptivity in masculine coded heteronormative cohorts through data driven holistic outreach. Read you the first paragraph of this. Democrat donors and consultants have been meeting in luxury hotels to analyze the party's inability to connect with male voters and propose alternative communication strategies. The results, according to the New York Times, have often resembled anthropological studies of people from faraway places. One liberal group is planning a $20 million campaign called Speaking with American Men, a strategic planning, or SAM for short, that will study the syntax, language, content, and that gains attention and virality in masculine coded heteronormative communities. So basically, you guys, the problem here is that ever since the 2024 election, men have been driven out of the Democrat Party, but they've been driven out of the Democrat Party during Barack Obama's time. So, that's why the Democrat Party continues to lose. Because here's the thing, the Democrat Party today is the party of men who identify as women, okay? Liberal white women, low testosterone men, okay? And then on top of that, guys, you have like what? Incels and beta boys. You wonder why Trump is winning among men. You wonder why. The Democrats have no message, okay? The Democrats have no message. And here's the thing, the Washington Free Beacon has even gotten insiders on how Democrats are going to try to talk to men. I'm like, after looking at this article, guys, I'm like this. Democrats have a problem, and it's their men that they have a problem with. They have a problem with men in this country because of the fact that they ran them out the door. They demonized them. They bullied them. They intimidated them. They even like demeaned them. Almost to the point that men are running to the arms of the GOP, the Republican Party, the conservative movement, or the libertarian movement. The fact is, guys, these these Democrats are desperate because they know the midterms are coming up next year. And they know that if they don't have men in their party, they're fucking done. There is no fucking way that they will ever win the midterm elections coming up. And I guarantee you guys, and I guarantee you this, okay? Democrats will lose the male vote in record numbers. Here's this article I want to talk to you about from the Daily Signal. Democrats plan to win back young men. Hilarity ensues. Here we go. Democrat Party strategists are hoping to win back young men through a new $20 million effort called Speaking with American Men. What's being labeled as a strategic plan is an attempt to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these online spaces. And here's how the Democrats are planning on doing this. And I'll read you this paragraph. The plan recommends buying advertisements in video games and cautions Democrats to shift from moralizing tone. The plan raised some eyebrows after excerpts were published by the New York Times, not least because the Democrat National Committee recently announced it might be holding another election in June that could result in the ouster of the youngest male member of their leadership team. So basically, it's like this. Democrats are so desperate for male voters that they're willing to do whatever it takes to win back male voters. Young men right now are fleeing the Democrat Party in droves. They're going to the Republican side because the Republican values hardworking men. Whereas the Democrats value laziness, value victimhood, value the fact that, oh, if you're a white male, you have to bow down to every other oppression Olympic group in the Democrat Party. Tell you this much, guys. I'll tell you this. The Democrat Party is losing. They're losing men in record numbers, and if this trend continues into the midterm elections come 2026, I guarantee you this, the Democrats will lose in the presidential election. They will lose badly. The fact that the Democrat Party constantly supports like groups like Antifa, BLM, or socialist, Marxist, communist groups is why the Republican Party is winning. They really are. And the fact that they're losing badly just goes to show that they're willing to sink $20 million into trying to talk to men. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, the Democrats have no strategy. This is another lame attempt at the fact that the Democrat Party has been rudderless since 2024, since the fact that Donald J. Trump beat the effing living motherfucker out of the Democrat Party. Okay? This is why their attempt is going to fail. It's like this analogy, ladies and gentlemen. It's like the Democrat Party trying to throw spaghetti at a wall, hoping that it'll stick, but in reality, it'll fall right on the floor. Basically, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party is desperate. They are. And then I'll read you this from Louder with Crowder. Democrats roasted over $20 million plot to win over young male voters. And I'll read you the headline. The Democrats can't seem to figure out why they failed to appeal to the male population. Subsequently, they've decided to spend millions of dollars to get to the bottom of this. Today's show breaks down why the left crashes with young men and their pathetic plan to fix this. Here's the quote from Louder with Crowder. Young men tend to become more conservative as they grow older. As they have families, they pay taxes. As they get more responsibilities. But if you can just mitigate your losses to people under 30 to 10% and keep everything else the same, we would never lose an election again, Crowder said. I don't think you would see the big switch. Yeah, I don't think. And even in the Daily Mail, right here, guys, even the UK Daily Mail, okay? Even the UK Daily Mail right here. Democrats roasted over $20 million plot to win over young male voters. You can't buy authenticity. You can't, guys. The fact that the Democrats think that they can buy voters, that they can buy podcast shows, that's not a winning strategy, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a winning strategy. Look at what Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, look at what Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg did when they went on the Joe Rogan podcast show. They became very popular because Joe Rogan was upfront about them, was basically out in the open for the whole goddamn motherfucking world to see. Democrats, on the other hand, they want to script everything. They want to make it look like, oh, they're better than conservatives. Oh, they're better than Republicans. Oh, they're better than these people, You Democrats think they can buy their way out of things. That's like their same philosophy, thinking they can tax their way to prosperity. I mean, as I'm sitting here in my diaper and onesie, okay, I'm like, you can't buy your way out of that shit. How the fuck do you think that works? I mean, seriously. I'll read you from the headline from the Daily Mail. Okay, critics have slammed the Democrats for an inauthentic $20 million plan to study the syntax used by young men to win their votes. Democrats have been baffled as to why young male voters are abandoning the party after the demographic swung to the right for Donald Trump in the November election. Looking ahead to the 2026 midterms and the next presidential election, Democrats are strategizing how to win back young male voters after the Trump campaign successfully harnessed big names including Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn. Basically, it's like this. The Daily Mail highlighted that paragraph right there. Right there. The reason why young males swung to Donald Trump, because Donald Trump went on podcast shows like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn. They went on those shows. They were open, honest, and upfront about who they are, their party platform, why they were running for president, and they were open and honest and upfront about themselves. Democrats couldn't even be open about who they fucking are without having a fucking mental breakdown. They couldn't, guys. I'm telling you, they couldn't. Look at what happened when the laughing hyena Kamala Harris went on a podcast show. Democrats were trying to script it, make it look like that she was this popular, this and this and this and this. And then I'm like, hold up, homeboy. Scripting this thing, trying to buy your way to authenticity. She basically sunk her campaign, sunk her chances of ever getting in the White House. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, she screwed the Democrat Party upside the damn head. She really did, guys. She really did. But here's the kicker in all this. Here's the kicker. Democrats are trying to strategize, hoping that they're going to win the midterm elections, okay? Hoping, guys. Hoping, but we all know they're never going to win. They're never going to win. And I'm telling you this right now, guys. And I'm telling you this. The problem with the Democrat Party is that they can't be upfront. They can't be authentic. They can't be real about themselves. Everything has to be about pronouns, their like victim mentality and all that shit. And I'm like, as someone who grew up in the 1980s and was always taught, be real about yourselves, be who you are, be true about who you are. That's how you get people. That's how you get people to gravitate towards you. That's how you get people to like you. That's how you get people to win over you. Is that you have to be real. You have to be true to yourself. You have to be authentic. You have to be original. Democrats don't fucking realize this. They don't understand that. And they can't see that through a wet diaper. They can't, because to a Democrat, it's all about pronouns. It's all about who you're affiliated with. It's all about your identity and all this shit. That doesn't make you sound real. That doesn't make you look real. That doesn't make you look authentic. That makes you look like a piece of shit. Yeah, makes you look like a piece of shit. And the fact that Democrats think they can buy their way to authenticity, buy people to vote for them, fucking fooling themselves. And to think that they're going to spend $20 million in trying to talk to young men into voting for them. Nah, man. They're just screwing themselves. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. And I'm telling you right now, guys, they shot themselves in the foot on this one, and basically they screwed the pooch. They screwed the pooch. I'm telling you this, they really do. The fact of the matter is, guys, I'm gonna say it like this: the Democrat Party screwed themselves over. They screwed themselves over in the 2024 election when they thought that they can buy their way into the White House, that they thought they can buy their way into power, and they thought that they can buy people off. These are the same Democrats who think that they can tax the living effing motherfucker out of you to prosperity. And I'm like, no, man, that doesn't fucking work like that. That doesn't fucking work like that. The fact of the matter is, guys, the Democrat Party is going to lose. They're going to lose in the midterm elections because they keep hemorrhaging male voters. They are hemorrhaging male voters, especially young men who ultimately what? Have a family, have responsibility. Once they have those things, they're not playing the Democrat Party anymore. They're going to be like this. Look, man, I got a family. I got responsibilities. I got bills. I got job to maintain. So guess what? I'm done playing identity politics. You know what I mean? I'm done playing with your pronoun bullshit and your oppression Olympic bullshit. Guess what? I'm going to side with the Republican, conservative, and libertarian side. At least they defend my right, my tax dollars, and all that bullshit. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, the Democrat Party is going to lose. They're going to lose the midterm elections. And if they continue to do this, guys, and if they continue to do this, they're going to lose the governor's race. Pretty much, guys. Pretty much. But I will tell you this. The Republican Party, on the flip side, better fucking do whatever it takes to keep the male voters. You better do whatever it takes. As the Democrat Party loses men, the Republican Party, the MAGA Party, the conservative and libertarian and independent parties, they better do whatever it takes to keep those men in your sector. Keep those men in your party. Because I'm telling you right now, the pendulum can swing the fucking the other way in one fell swoop or one big ass mistake. Okay? So this is why I tell the other side, do whatever it takes to keep the men in your party. Do whatever it takes. Okay? Here's how I put this in the philosophy. When your enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt them. Let them make their mistakes. At the same time, take advantage of their mistakes. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when they're not realizing they're making a mistake, holy hell yeah, time to take advantage of their mistake. And I tell you this much, it's a good thing that we're highlighting this, okay? It's a good thing. And I'm telling you guys, ladies and gentlemen, any article I talk about on the show, guys, will be put in the description, okay? Everything will be linked in the description for y'all to see, for y'all to hear, and for y'all to read for yourself, okay? But I will say this before we move on. We're going into the midterm elections coming into next year. Now is the time for the MAGA party, the conservative party, the Republican Party, the libertarians and independents to seize the opportunity that the Democrats are losing men. Take advantage of this while you still can. Because once we win the midterm elections in 2026, we're going to go full head on into the presidential election in 2028. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to work on priming Trump Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr., Marco Rubio, and J.D. Vance for the White House. We're going to get those people primed, and we're going to get those people ready for those seats. But I will tell you this, guys. Don't be complacent. Just because we're winning and the Democrats are losing. If the Democrats continue to lose, ladies and gentlemen, take advantage of it. Take advantage of their loss. If you take advantage of their loss right now, we win in 2026 and we win in 2028. Take advantage. While the Democrats are being beaten down right now because of the fact that they're losing men, keep beating them down. Keep getting more men away from the Democrat Party. Because the more you do this, the more we win. And the more we win, ladies and gentlemen, the more we stay in power. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. And I'm telling you right now, guys, this is how we win elections. This is how we win. And you know, as they say in the Navy SEALs, it pays to be a winner. And we better do whatever it takes to be a winner. And the fact that the Democrats are so desperate right now that they're trying to strategize on how to talk to young men shows that they're losing. And it shows that they're losing royally. And it's time we take advantage of that. And if we don't take advantage of that, kiss the midterm and presidential election goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Kiss it goodbye. That's why the message is clear. Seize the opportunity, seize the fact that they're losing and they're desperately trying to get young men back. Take advantage of that. If you take advantage of that, ladies and gentlemen, we win, they lose, and they will never, ever fucking recover. They will never, okay? Never. Anyway, I want to talk about this, okay? These two articles, one from the Western Journal and the New York Post, okay? Meta's panic about groomers targeting minors on Instagram surfaces at the FTC antitrust trial. This article came from the New York Post. Mark Zuckerberg's Meta knew Instagram was steering underage users toward online creeps and other harmful content, even as it shot down requests by co-founder Kevin Systrom and others to commit more resources for safety, according to the bombshell documents that surfaced at the FTC's antitrust trial. Here's the second paragraph to this article from the New York Post. The little notice trove included internal email exchanges between Zuckerberg, Systrom, and other top Meta executives, as well as internal reports that the most damning of which was an alarming June 2019 report titled Inappropriate Interactions with Children on Instagram. Next paragraph. In the report, Instagram researchers found that nearly 2 million accounts operated by minors have been recommended to groomers, a term referring to adult sickos who target children for sexual purposes within a single 3-month period. So basically, guys, Meta, which owns Instagram, knew their platform was being used to groom minors. Knew that they were doing this in clear violation of the law. They knew it, and they hid it from the public view, knowing that if it got out that Instagram was being used to steer kids to groomers, to pedophiles, to sex offenders, yeah, you know what would happen? The feds would come in and shut it down in less than 2 seconds. They would. That's why they hid this article, ladies and gentlemen. That's why they hid it. And I'll read you this commentary from the Western Journal. Zuckerberg grooming in IG. Explosive docs surface in court exposes damning emails on sick grooming situation. Here's the headline, and I'll read you the first 2 paragraphs. Mark Zuckerberg knew that Instagram's algorithms promoted and connected a vast network of predatory child groomers, but he ignored the problem, according to the Federal Trade Commission's antitrust lawsuit against Meta, the parent company of Instagram. The FTC's trial against Mark Zuckerberg kicked off in April, revealing a trove of damning internal emails between Zuckerberg, Instagram co-founder Kevin Systrom, and other Meta executives, according to the New York Post, which was the last article I read to y'all. Okay, and the email suggests Zuckerberg was well aware of Instagram's algorithm aggressively recommended that child groomers follow minors on the app, making it easier to prey on them. So basically, it's like this. Mark Zuckerberg, who owns not only Meta and not only owns Instagram and WhatsApp, knew that Instagram's algorithm was recommending kids to groomers and pedophiles, but did nothing to stop it. Did nothing to break Instagram's algorithm and said, nope, we're not allowing that. Basically, they knew, but they hid it. Because you know why? They hid it because if the federal government knew that Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Meta, Instagram, and WhatsApp, that their platforms were steering kids into the hands of groomers, the feds would shut the fucking shit down in less than 2 seconds. every federal law enforcement agency, or I'm going to say every three-letter federal agency in the book would shut Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp down in less than 2 seconds. They would have been wiped out. Mark Zuckerberg would have been on trial for criminal charges instead of the FTC. The fact of the matter is like this. Facebook is in a panic. They are in a panic because they fucking know that if this came to light, in which it did during the FTC trial, that Mark Zuckerberg knew that his platforms that he brought, okay, were being used to steer minors to sex offenders, pedophiles, and groomers. You know the kind of shitstorm that law enforcement would be going through. You know the kind of shitstorm that they would be seeing. You know, ladies and gentlemen, that they would be in serious trouble. You know that the feds would be coming looking for them in a way that they do not expect. And you know they'd be in serious hot water. They would. But the fact of the matter is, guys, and I'll say this before we move on. I used to be on Facebook, but until they kicked me on and Instagram, until they kicked me out because they accused me of being a fraudulent account. But then they allowed like what? Like OnlyFans spammers, like online porn spammers. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that the FTC antitrust lawsuit is going through. Because I've said this on the podcast show. I hope they lose. I hope that they are forced to break up Instagram and WhatsApp. I hope they do. Because the fact of the matter is, ever since Facebook, aka Meta, brought out Instagram, it's been trash. It's been trash. I haven't been on Instagram a whole lot because all I see every now and then is online porn bots, spam bots. Okay, basically, Meta has allowed these bots to proliferate so fucking badly that you lose out on conversations. You never get a single like, comment, or repost because all you get is spam bots, porn bots, only fan bots posting like ads to, oh, come look at me on OnlyFans, come look at me on my porn site and all this shit. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, Meta is losing. Meta is more likely going to have to break up Instagram and probably sell it to Elon Musk. More likely. But I will tell you this, guys. I will tell you this. What's especially damning is that Mark Zuckerberg knew about this. He knew about this under his watch and didn't do nothing to stop it. I'm going to say like this, guys, before we move on. If any kid was harmed on Instagram and Mark Zuckerberg didn't do anything to stop it, I hope to God he gets sued out of business. I hope to God that the lawyers run his ass out of the country. Okay? I hope to God that happens. Because I will tell you this, guys. I will tell you this. Mark Zuckerberg, guys, he's done. He's finished. He is. He is. And if this lawsuit prevails with the US government versus Meta, I'll be happy on the day that Mark Zuckerberg has to sell Instagram. I'll be the happiest clam in the whole fucking world. And I'll be happy because I know like this. Mark Zuckerberg did me dirty on Facebook. He did me dirty on Instagram. I still have Instagram, but I don't use it as much because I know that site's being spammed by porn bots and spam bots, and they're not fucking doing anything to stop it. That's why I don't use it as much. I still have it, but I don't use it as much anymore. I don't. I really don't. But let's move on, guys. I want to talk about this article, okay? I want to talk about this article. These two articles both come from both both come from Politico and the Daily Signal. Yes, guys, I said the Politico because learning from Dan Bongino before he became deputy FBI director, you always want to read what your enemy's thinking. And that's why he always said on his show is always read what your enemy's posting so you know what they're going to be talking about. Okay? And yes, I am citing the leftist Politico for this article, okay? In this article, I want to talk about this. From Politico, 21 unexpected heavy hitters for a Democrat shadow cabinet. Okay? And I'll read you this. From the first paragraph, written by Bill Scheer, as Democrats cast about for a strategy to thwart President Trump's agenda, rebrand their party, and take back power, Senator Alyssa Stolken recently offered one intriguing idea: build a shadow cabinet. So, this one Democrat senator wants to basically commit treason and sedition by building a shadow cabinet to thwart President Trump, his agenda, his policies. Read you the headline from this, okay? From this next paragraph. The shadow cabinet envisioned by a Michigan Democrat in an interview with Politico could be composed of ranking members of congressional committees who could then take the lead in challenging Trump's administration. It's a common feature of opposition politics abroad and could be a way for Democrats to flood the zone and deliver a coordinated response to Trump's most wild maneuvers, but ranking members. And I'll read you this from Daily Signal right here. From new poll, Representative AOC to an article in Politico on a proposed Democrat shadow cabinet, the future left appears en route to a psychiatric center. And this is like a video, basically, guys. The fact of the matter is, guys, this Michigan Democrat wants to commit treason and sedition, which is a felony, which would lay your fucking ass in federal prison, or in this case, would lay your fucking ass on death row. I don't know what to say here. After reading these two articles, one of them from the leftist Politico and one of them from the conservative Daily Signal, Democrats want to create a shadow cabinet, a shadow government. What's that thing that's called, ladies and gentlemen? Tell me, what's that thing called? Treason and sedition. That alone, ladies and gentlemen, should have Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, Christy Nome, okay, and Pam Bondi on her fucking sticking ass. The fact that this Democrat wants to create a shadow government in an attempt to thwart and overthrow a legitimate government, ladies and gentlemen, this is treason and sedition on the highest order. This is treason and sedition on the highest order. It pretty much is, guys. It pretty much is. The fact that Democrats want to pull this fucking stunt seems to me that they are power hungry. The fact that they lost the election last year shows that they are desperate in an attempt to thwart, to block, to impede, to use whatever bullshit to basically stop President Trump from doing what he is legally obligated and allowed to do. That alone, ladies and gentlemen, warrants that Democrat in Michigan should be fucking arrested for treason and sedition. To think to come up with this bullshit, any Democrat that thinks that's okay, ladies and gentlemen, should all be rounded up, arrested, prosecuted, and then thrown in the fucking deepest hole in the federal prison system. That has no fucking place in this country. The fact that the Democrats want to create a shadow cabinet to challenge Trump and even run what the so-called fourth branch of government, which is what the judiciary government, just goes to show there's no low that these fucking Democrats will go. And the fact that on Politico, this fucking Democrat by the name of Senator Alyssa Stalkin that wants to create a shadow cabinet? Where's Cash Patel? Where's Dan Bongino? They gotta be breaking down her damn door and dragging her to the nearest fucking federal prison and charging her with treason and sedition. Where are these people? Where? The fact that they want to create a shadow cabinet just goes to show that they are committing treason and sedition of the highest order. They really are. There's no way around it. There's no way. I don't care how you slice it, how you fucking call it. I don't care. It's treason and sedition. It is so bad that these people want to actually overthrow the federal government. They want to overthrow a legitimate election just because they think that, oh, it's illegitimate and all this, just because they couldn't cheat their way into the White House. As I'm here in my diaper and onesie, I'm like, these people are out of their effing fucking mind. Seriously. Oh, seriously. Seriously. And that was damn good coffee, guys. But seriously, these people are off their fucking rocker. The fact that they want to create a shadow cabinet to challenge Trump, folks, I used to work in a psychiatric hospital. This is what you would normally see in psychiatric hospitals, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you would normally see. The fact that they want to create this shadow government, I'm gonna say this on the podcast show right here. Try it, bitch. Let's see how long that fucking lasts. Try it. Because I will be demanding Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, Christine Nome, and Pam Bondi break down the door of your place and haul your ass to federal prison. It's that simple. It's really that simple, guys. It really is. But the life of me, ladies and gentlemen, It's this. Why are these Democrats so desperate to create a shadow government? Why? Why, guys? Explain this to me. Why? It's because they want to overthrow Trump. They wanted to get rid of Trump ever since the first term in office. They want to try to get rid of him. Okay? They were really that desperate. Telling you, they were really desperate. But the fact that they were trying to do this in their first term, and now they're trying to do this again by creating a shadow government or shadow cabinet. Seems to me, ladies and gentlemen, this is the stuff that you would see during the Civil War when the Confederates had their own government, but then they lost and went away. Seems to me Democrats are doing that playbook again. Seems to me, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm here in my diaper and onesie, seems to me they're doing this again. Yeah, no bones about it. Yeah. But the life of me, guys, the way I see this is this. Democrats are desperate to stay in power. They're so desperate that they're willing to do everything, including committing treason and sedition, just to stay in power. They're willing to commit that bad of a crime just to stay in federal power. It just shows the level of disgust, the level of filth. Okay? It just shows that, guys. It really does. It really does. But for the life of me, guys, this shows that the Democrat Party is fucking desperate. They are so desperate that they're willing to overthrow a legitimate government just so they gain power. It just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party does not deserve to be in power. They don't even deserve to be in power. This alone, from the article from Politico and the Daily Signal, this alone, ladies and gentlemen, shows me that the Democrat Party does not deserve to be in power. They don't deserve to, to even run the dog pound. They don't. The fact that they're doing this just shows that they're drug addicted to power. They are. They're drug addicted. Okay? That's all they are. They're drug addicted to political power. And this is why the only way you end this shit is you get rid of them. And you get them out of power and you never let them get into power no matter what. It's really, really that simple. It is. You stop the Democrats from gaining power. Is the only way we're gonna win this country. Is the only way we're gonna get this country back on the right track. And the only way we're gonna basically, and I'm gonna say this before we end the show today, guys, is this: the Democrat Party should never ever hold majority power in this country. Never ever. Not even a fucking million years. Not even, guys. Not even. But I will say this as much too, guys. Any Democrat who tries this shit should automatically be arrested, prosecuted, and thrown in prison. Okay? They should be thrown in the deepest hole the federal prison system has for these people. They should never, ever be in power as long as I'm still alive on my two damn feet and I'm breathing. They should never, ever be in power. They should never. The fact that they're doing this and they wanna try to be in power just goes to show they are desperate as hell. They are. and try and then for them to come up with this like this horse shit of an idea of a shadow cabinet to thwart President Trump, that's grounds for treason and sedition right there. That alone is enough to send somebody to federal prison for the rest of their fucking natural life and never see freedom as long as they're alive. It's pretty much self-explanatory, guys. It's pretty much self-explanatory. The fact that Democrats want to do this shit, you know, the fact that they want to pull this shit just goes to show they're desperate. They're desperate to stay in power. They really are. They really are. And it's remarkable that they're blatant about this. It's remarkable. But I'm telling you, man, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, Democrats don't deserve to be in power. They don't deserve political power. They don't. And they never will. As long as I'm still alive, guys. As long as I'm still alive. Wow, that was a good show, guys. That was a good show. That was a good show. And yes, guys, my diapers did hold up, but then I probably pooped while I was doing the show for y'all. So yeah, I'll probably have to do a diaper change as well. But that was a good long show for y'all. That was, guys. That was. But anyway, guys, I thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I hope you all have a good day. Hope you all have fun. Enjoy your day. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.